Hello, and welcome to Recent Activity, your new favorite entertainment review podcast that attempts to cover every film, every show, all at once. I am your co-host, Andrew Morgan. With me, as always, he just came from the mayor's inaugural swim. It's Shane Beauregard. How are you, sir?
I can't swim very well. It didn't go well.
Well, that's too bad, man. And summer swim season is finally upon us. So, sea hags be damned. We're going to plow through, man. Happy summer to you. Happy belated Father's Day. All that. Hope you had a good weekend there. Did you want to do the quick follow-up on last week to just tell the folks how seeing The Furious was with your kids?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was so
It's still my favorite thing to say out loud.
Yeah, it is funny because like most parents are taking their kids to see Toy Story.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, not this guy. We're going to go see The Furious. So my kids were blown away. My son ended up giving it a 4.7. My daughter gave it a 5 out of 5. Literally said it's the best movie she's ever seen. And I told Andrew this off the mic. I said, she literally said, Dad, there's more fight scenes than people talking scenes. I said, Yep. So it was awesome. And for me, it was actually better the second time through, which I loved it the first time.
Yeah.
So probably the best action film I've seen in the last 10 years. I'm going to put it out there.
Does this open up more kicky, punchy opportunities for you and the children now?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I love it, man.
You were on the horror tip with your daughter.
Yes.
So now it's just like family outings to every genre now. We're just opening up the Shane floodgates.
I'm hoping because my daughter is like, hey, Dad, I think they're making another Meg movie. Can we go see it? I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, God.
So,
say less, kid.
Yep.
Say less.
So, yeah, it was great, though. It was great.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear it, man. I hope every father out there had as good a weekend as we did. Had a lot of stuff on my end as well. Had a good time. Toy Story 5, if you want like 2-second review, it's sweet. It's better than 4. And it has a nice how to make friends story in the electronic social age versus the toys kind of a thing going on. So it's nice. It ends nicely. It ends sweetly. So, and supposedly they're making a 6 to complete the trilogy of this child versus the trilogy of Andy or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
So I had the same reaction. I'm like, okay, I guess it's mostly like, you know how much money it made this weekend? That's really what is probably at play too. But, good for them. Whatever. It's a good series. There's no bad one in the bunch. 4's a definite 4th or now 5th. But, generally they're all entertaining. So you can't go wrong. And hence why it was a 4-quadrant banger this weekend that killed the box office. So excellent job by them there. But today we are going to dive into TV. We are going to do our top 5 TV shows of 2026 so far. Yes, we are at the midway point, if you can believe it. So we are going to do that later. But first, we have to talk Widow's Bay finale, because this is a show we've been tracking every week. It was one of those shows that I think right before it came out, I even just first heard of it, that I was like, oh, I heard good things. And just this show has just taken over. Like for myself, I know you and I go back and forth every week, like, oh my God, did you see this? Whatever. Like, how cool is this? And it's just such a hit for Apple TV Plus. And it's memes everywhere. I told you my whole Instagram is mostly Patricia memes at this point, which is no complaint whatsoever. We'll get to that. But they finally had their finale, 10 episodes. An excellent season. So if you haven't watched any so far, my God, is it bingeable? And certain episodes are short. It's like 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. And I think even the finale was only 40 something. So no long episodes. You could bang this through. Excellent show. But let's get to the finale, Shane, and talk about kind of the show as a whole here, because, man, I don't know what you were anticipating with the kind of hangover from the 9th episode to the finale, but my God, just how captivating the 2 main settings were in this finale between Ruth's house and the shelter. Amazing stuff. And it was probably the most satisfied I've been with a finale in a while. especially for a show that can be a puzzle box, with the lore as well as, whatever they're trying to unlock that week. I thought this was incredibly satisfying. How about you?
I echo the same thoughts. I love the going back and forth between Ruth's house, like you said, the emergency shelter.
Yeah.
And maybe usually I could pick up on twists, and this is not a spoiler, but the whole Ruth situation, when that comes out, I was like, oh my God. Like,
Yeah.
kind of didn't see that coming. And then with the sheriff stepping in, I'm like, oh my God. Like, it was so good. Like, they've done just an incredible job, especially like the last 3 episodes. I mean, God, the whole season is good. But like, especially
there's maybe like one filler episode,
Right.
maybe. And
Maybe.
even then, those are still so good.
Yes. So, but coming off of like episode 9, which was like the storm and everyone getting in the emergency shelter, and then everything falling out after that, it was just so well done, and the cast is so good, just so good.
It's such a deep roster. I think I'll probably say that a million times when we're talking about our top 5s, because I think these like deep ensembles where you care about so many characters, this is just another one of those, while being also very plot heavy and hilarious at the same time.
Oh, yes, they blend it so perfectly well, because I can't remember if it was episode 9. I'm pretty sure it was when the painting fell on him. He's like, get this off me. I laughed so hard because she's pushing. He's like, you're pushing it more. It's so good.
Yeah.
But like,
another character pulls their back out, and then they shoo away the guy who can actually take it off. It's amazing. That whole scene is awesome.
Good. All the little just stuff like that just makes a series. And I did like how like he was finally making amends with his son. They were kind of getting close, and he was finally telling him the truth. Like, it's so good. Love this show.
And I will say, especially for the finale, the Ruth's house stuff had me laughing almost every other time they go. It goes back and forth between like, this is serious because something serious might happen, and then, oh, by the way, let's get like a needle point that says like, good things come to those who wait, while he's trying to rush, take her out and whatever else. Like, it's so funny.
Yeah.
And they literally had an argument about tea, like how long to take it, and it says good things come to those who wait. Like, it's so funny. And then her walking 2 miles on the treadmill, her social calendar being full, when we thought like this woman was, at death's door, just whatever, she'll die on her own thing. And then the trolley problem thing, the photo album, every time she was like, he made a pass, or the classic, now, like the classic of all classic lines now that seems to have gone viral with, he got bit by an animal and became that animal. Like, now we don't know what the fuck that means.
Right.
Whether when I first heard it, I was like, oh, did she mean like, because I've heard, people say they got bit by the like almost comparing like alcoholism or drugs. So like, you got bit by something like an addiction, whatever. I've heard that before. So I was like, is that what she meant? And then as the episode goes on and we see how things end up at the shelter, you're like, is that guy that thing? Like, what is that? And then, so it could be taken so many ways, but it's just funny in general. So I just took it as that. And yeah, there's so many things there. And then how it concludes, you mentioned with the sheriff and all those things. It's incredible. And then the shelter stuff with a lot of intrigue, where I'm laughing my ass off watching the orientation film to the human sacrifices that they're doing, which is amazing. The offerings, the electric chair room, as we mentioned, with the cellar door, all this stuff, like her finding the paper, if you can read this, I'm already dead, like while passing out blankets. Like, there's so many things going on that every scene matters in that finale. And what I'll say too, I don't know if you've done this at all, after I watched the finale, not only did I watch the finale twice because I wanted to kind of see everything a little bit clearer for this, but I also went back and watched prior episodes. And when Ruth pops up in prior episodes, because she was kind of just like, oh, she's old, she needs to sleep, she's not around, blah blah blah. So it's so funny to kind of see how they painted her and what she actually is in reality on top of it, and also why she works that job, even though she's, what she'd say, 84 years old or something.
84 years old, yeah.
So all of those things are hilarious. and also very rewarding on rewatch. Like, and that's why I'm saying for a 10 episode season and chock full of stuff, you can easily rewatch that season and get more out of it because it's so chock full of detail that I think it's so rewarding.
Yeah, and I think I'll do the same thing. And I will say, even like usually in a series, if they do a total flashback episode, like in this one, it's our history episode. Usually that might take me out of it. You know what I mean? Like we're rolling along, and then they bring us to like the foundation of the island and everything. I even love
it's usually all exposition, right?
And I loved that episode. You know, like
never
ever. And one of my favorites, you know, besides seasickness, is the episode where Patricia's running from the slasher episode.
Yeah, the final girl episode.
Yeah, that was great. And it was totally like an isolated episode, and it was so good. Like this show has everything you'd want. Like, just
I agree.
Yeah, so loved it. And I do want to do a second dive on it. I think I'm going to give it time to breathe a little bit and then just go back for a second. Because again, like you said, every episode is a half hour, 41 minutes max. You can zip right through.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah, it's a nice little like afternoon. You can bang out like 4 or 5 episodes and do the rest later. Like it's so easy. It's so easily digestible. You could tell that this is a writer creator who has a background she wrote for Mike Schur. She wrote for Parks and Recreation. And that's how she actually got the job, is she kind of pitched this show or a version of the show or an episode script that she wrote of this show or something like that, like the treatment something, to where she showed it to Mike Schur, and that's how she got the job writing for Parks and Rec. And you can kind of tell with how she really knows how to establish a setting and get like these deep characters and really establish a time and place and who these people are and what you're going to get out of it. And it, like I said, it's just completely rewarding, and it's so good every single week. And I you're totally right that we never got that like, oh, this is kind of just an empty kind of time because we're, you know, just getting information. We're just getting an info dump. Not really. And maybe it like stretches, like maybe like a scene or two. Like even when they're going over the genealogy, like there was like jokes all over that thing, even though that was kind of an exposition dump of sorts. But that's how they do it, you know.
And that scene went on for like 10 minutes, and everyone was like, "Oh, that was too long." But I thought it was hysterical. Like I thought it was so
dead baby, lesbian, dead baby. Like it's just so funny.
Yeah.
But
so good.
Yeah, it's excellent. Even like the subtle jokes are so good.
Yeah.
It's very funny. I don't even know where to go from here because I know we're here for season 2. That's obvious. Like if we love this show so much, we're obviously in on the next season. Are you any way apprehensive now because it's a season 2 that there's going to be like a letdown, or you're like, oh, this is how this ended, and now I think it can actually go up levels?
It could, you know. That's a good question, because we've had that with so many TV series. Like the second season doesn't live up to the first.
Sure.
I feel like my expectation is could be on par with the first one, and maybe even go a step above. Because again, we have so many unanswered questions. We have the sheriff and his wife. We got the revelation at the very end of the show.
Yes.
You know, so there's a lot to chew on and go forward with this. So at minimum, I would expect season 2 to be on par with season 1.
And not to mention the chimes.
Yes.
The chimes is very important now that we know what it really means.
Yep.
What the island demands, as it were.
Yes.
So the fact that we got 8 chimes at the end, I was like, oh, crap. This season's going to be crazy. And knowing the mayor's expectation, or excuse me, his reluctance to do what he has to do or what he thinks may have to happen or any of those things, he's going to let a lot of things slide, and that's when things are going to get crazy. So I think this second season could be a little more intense, and especially now that we've established a lot of the lore. Yep. So I think, you know, again, we told you, like, it never gets bogged down with throat clearing at all, but it just, I feel like the second season could just flow even better.
Yeah.
And I have all the faith in the world in that team.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Yeah, and you know, it's just whether Apple is going to rush something out because they know they have a hit.
Usually they
But-
don't, though. Usually usually they'll take their time with it. And
considering they have multiple shows every single week, it feels like now. So, Apple TV Plus, you won't even realize that Widow's Bay is gone by the time it comes back, I feel. But yeah, this is an excellent show, and I look forward to so much more. But man, let's talk about our top fives. I don't know what if you want to dump honorable mentions to the end and all those things.
yeah, let's save it for the end.
Okay. So we'll start with our top fives. But first, I did want to say to you, because I mentioned it to you, I wrote a top five. I wrote honorable mentions. I wrote a sorry to list. And I wrote most anticipated for the second half. I wanted to kind of kick off with the sorry to list because I feel like maybe your list might be chock full of these. So I want to kind of get the apologies out first, where I wrote sorry to Wonder Man, didn't get to it. Sorry to Spider Noir, because I only watched the first 2 episodes. Sorry to The Pit, never got to at all. This is still my deficiency. This is the Shane show for the rest of the show, by the way, because what are you up to now? Like almost 20 shows that you've probably watched in the first half of this year. It's some insane number.
Oh yeah, it's closer to like 28, something like that.
Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah.
I undersold it. My bad. Sorry to Netflix, because I don't think I watched a season of any of their shows this year, even though there were ones that, I thought about with like the 4 seasons. Season 2 looked kind of good, or His and Hers or something like that. Never got to them. Apologies to Netflix. Apologies to Apple TV Plus in general, even though you're going to see a lot of their shows appear on our lists, and even my own. They had so many shows. There's stuff like Your Friends and Neighbors haven't watched a single episode, or Margot's Got Money Troubles, or any of these other ones that looked intriguing. What was the one that just came out with She-Hulk there?
Oh, Maximum Pleasure, I think it was called.
Maximum Pleasure Guaranteed or something?
Guaranteed, yep.
Yeah. There's so many shows like that where I'm just like, they say it's pretty good. Haven't seen it.
It is
Sugar
pretty good.
just came back for a second season. It's got Colin Farrell. Haven't watched a single episode, So I don't know rhyme or reason for why I do or do not engage with these, but there just seems like there's so much from Apple TV Plus in general lately, this year especially. It's kind of their breakout, which is funny to say because Severance was their breakout, but now it's like they're building upon all these things. And including, I never watched an episode of For All Mankind. They already have a spin-off show that apparently is doing pretty well with Star City or whatever it's called. Haven't watched an episode. So, back on that train as well. So, all those apologies said. So, when they end up on your list, I'll just go, yeah. So, but let's kick it off, man. Let's get to your number 5.
All
what
right.
do you got?
So, I'm going to do something that I did last year because I feel like this show just does not garner enough attention, and it's a Peacock entry.
Ooh.
And that's Ted season 2. This is one of the funniest shows that you'll like during the year that you'll watch. It is.
You've had it on past lists.
I did. It is hysterical, and season 2 is honestly a little better than season 1. And just the family dynamic between the dad and the mom and the cousin, it is laugh out loud, belly funny. And again, the special effects with Ted is just better than the movie. And that's why it got canceled, because they can't afford to dump the money they've been dumping into the live action Ted show.
Right.
It's 7 episodes. It's like 20 something minutes an episode. It is utterly fantastic. It's so funny.
Excellent. Yeah. It's one of those, I currently don't have Peacock, and sometimes you have to scrounge around or maybe do a month pass to see what they got. But unfortunately, especially since they canceled Poker Face, Peacock doesn't have a lot of shows.
They don't.
So, and even the ones that we've liked in the past, they're kind of one and dones. So I don't know what to do with Peacock. If something comes across the desk, it's like I gotta really go out of my way to search for it and get it, like rent it or something. It's a weird scenario. But I think that's an excellent pick, and like you said, you're nothing more than consistent, or nothing less than consistent. Right. Excuse me, because you've had this on lists of the past, so I'm glad to see it back on your list. My number 5, I am curious to see whether this ends up either on your list or in honorable mentions, because I forgot what you thought about it. But I'm going to Prime Video for Young Sherlock. This is Guy Ritchie's show, who we love him. Obviously, if you've heard us speak of his movies in the past, we even gave a better grade for In the Gray for the minute that was out in theaters. But I am always a person who will give any kind of Sherlock Holmes thing a shot. And Guy Ritchie obviously did a really good job with the movie version. Now we're seeing the Young Sherlock series where you're seeing, kind of like a college age version of Sherlock. You're going to get your Moriarty. You're going to get the family stuff that they integrate as the show goes on. And it's just such a well-run show. It's got a very good whodunit in the background, a lot of heart. It's fun. It's got the adventure components. It's just pure, like, if you like that kind of stuff, if you watch Enola Holmes, if you watch the Guy Ritchie Sherlock movies, all those kinds of like modern Sherlock versions, you're going to absolutely love this. So I had a great time. Love to see Natasha McElhone from Californication and other things play the mother really well here. It's a really good cast. I had a great time with it, and this is my number 5.
All right. Well, my number 4 is Young Sherlock.
No way. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I can't add anything more to what you just said. I just really like the dynamic of a young Sherlock and a young Moriarty and how they really started out as friends. So we get that going forward. And, I think Guy Ritchie directed the first couple episodes. I know he directed at least the first one. So it has that Guy Ritchie feel with some of the action scenes, and just the plot was good. And just the writing was strong. All the characters were great. Colin Firth was good, like good cast. And I enjoyed it very much. And after soaring through it, so I'm going to land on Young Sherlock as my number 4 show of the year.
Excellent. I'm glad to see it. Because as I said to you before, off mic, I felt like my list was very predictable, but I also felt like we might have a lot of crossover. But
Right.
I'm interested now, because if that is already your number 4, I feel like we might not have some stuff in here. Maybe our top 3 might be a little more matching, but we'll see. Maybe not in the right order. We'll have to see. My number 4 is going to one of 2 shows from this streamer. This is an HBO Max show, or HBO show now that it is. Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Game of Thrones, the tale of Sir Duncan the Tall and his squire Egg. It's one of those shows that I felt like, especially, House of the Dragon just premiered their latest season on Sunday, and I could care less. And I hate that, because I was really into Game of Thrones when it came out. So to see something kind of not work that well, and to, kind of be out on their universe for a while there, it made me kind of bummed out. And so when this was going to come out, I was like, am I even that interested? I don't know. House of the Dragon. So like, is this just going to fade out? I was so happy that this worked. I thought they went small and had a nice, lone wolf and cub kind of thing, but with the obviously the Targaryen dynasty intrigue, as well as the tournament stuff, and where it headed towards the end was excellent. All of those things that we really got into. It was just nice. It was simple. It was streamlined, but it was so good and engaging, and with 2 characters at the center with a lot of heart and a lot of kind of like blue collarness to the night game. That was kind of cool. So there's a lot to love with this show, and that is my number 4. Okay. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is another Amazon Prime show.
And then we're not going to match. This is interesting.
Yeah, and that's Spider-Man Noir, which is yeah.
Okay,
I'm telling you.
I know you said you really liked it, so I shouldn't be shocked. But there are a few shows on here that I'm like, then that doesn't exist on here. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't think I would like this show as much as I did, and we're getting this just honestly because of the whole Into the Spider-Verse, because of that character appeared on there. We get the live action Nicolas Cage playing the down and out detective set in the 1930s Depression era. And this show, and I will tell audiences if you haven't seen this, Amazon gives you the option to watch it in black and white or color. Please, for the love of God, watch this in black and white. Because
absolutely.
it sets to the time and the era that this is in. So I personally believe it's meant to be in black and white. But what I liked about this is a totally different take on Spider-Man. He's, again, a private investigator who's like put down being Spidey, the Spider, as they call him the Spider. And, it's like Al Capone's taking over the town kind of figure, running amok, and everyone wants the Spider to come back, but he wants no part of it because of something that happened to him. And he spends his time drinking and just doing all sorts of adult stuff we don't get to see Spider-Man usually do.
Right.
So the origin of his powers is different as well. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And you get some old school Spider-Man villains in here. And it meshed really well with the time that they're in. It is a good old fashioned detective story. That's what I liked. It wasn't like all superhero stuff. It was him trying to solve what is going on. It was very well written. All the characters were strong. I couldn't put the show down. It was
I liked his assistant.
Yes.
She was that nice kind of typical old school, like brassy, like helping from behind the scenes, propping him up.
And the villain is played by Brendan Gleeson, who's fantastic. Yes. Yeah, really solid. And you get the reporter for the Daily Planet, Lamorne Morris
from New Girl.
Yep.
And,
Yep. Great pair with Nicolas Cage.
Fargo.
Yep. Yeah. Great pair with Nicolas Cage. Couldn't put the show down. I can't wait to see where it goes. I hope it gets picked up for a season 2 or it leads into something. But man, it sets itself up very well. It is so well done. And Nicolas Cage gets to explore this character like we've never seen anyone. He does Nicolas Cage stuff.
Sure.
So get ready for that. And it's good though. It's earned and it makes sense. So
I know I've seen some behind the scene things pop up on Instagram and other places with like people from the cast just literally just gushing at the strangeness, but the best stuff about Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage and all those things. I'm like, you could see the glee that they get from going head to head with him and making that work. And even Nicolas Cage, there was some stuff with him saying how great it was with Brendan Gleeson. So I could tell they had a lot of fun doing this show. So, whether you said, I don't know if there's a tip to expanded universe stuff or if there's just hopefully more of this on the horizon, but that would be cool, just to have something like this around for sure.
Yep.
My number 3, I feel like this one might have fallen off your list if the list plays out the way I think it's going to. It's another HBO show in Rooster, because I am in my Bill Lawrence bag, as we always are, where if I want to do another, I will have another Bill Lawrence show that's in my honorable mentions because the man has so many. So that is one that obviously fell off, but Rooster is a mainstay for me. This is a show that if they didn't renew, I would have been so mad. So mad. I love this universe. I love Steve Carell. I love the cast here. The author character that Steve Carell is Greg Russo, aka Rooster. Alongside Daniel Deadweiler, Phil Dunster from Ted Lasso, and a lot of people who we really like here, past Bill Lawrence people. It's an incredible show. The college campus stuff mixed in with family issues, divorces, relationships, fallout, the college life, party life stuff, it's got everything that you want with characters you really root for. And it's incredible. I can't speak, any higher on this show. It's another Bill Lawrence banger. It's got so much heart and so much good deep characters that we've talked about before, right? Where this deep roster of ensemble talent that will just keep you coming back, because there could be long stretches with no Steve Carell and you're just like, that's fine.
Yeah.
And that's insane to say about a show like this. So it's incredible. And I had a lot of fun with it. And it is my number 3. What is your number 2, sir?
My number 2 is my first Apple TV entry into the mix, and it's another Bill Lawrence banger. That is Shrinking season 3. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I think it was an uptick from season 2. I thought we got more Harrison Ford in here. just the dynamic of Jimmy and his daughter going to college and him coming to grips with that and the evolution of all the characters in here. It's one of the shows again that makes you laugh and cry and all the emotions. Every single episode is so well done. So we talked about it before. We always sing his praises. So Shrinking season 3 is my number 2.
That is also my number 2.
Oh, okay.
And I wonder if we're winking at the number 1. We'll get there in a sec. But yeah, Shrinking is one of the rare shows of all the shows that I watch that literally just will like blow me away and get to my emotional core so easily. And again, I think part of it is being a girl dad, same with you, and that dynamic. On top of just Jason Segel is the perfect kind of, hang dog, but funny and just everyman kind of a character, kind of an actor who could dive into a character like this. And his dynamic with Harrison Ford, that the way the finale ended, I was just weeping, just too much. I had too much. Colby Smulders is adorable and amazing. I love her as an addition here. You still got some Brett Goldstein kicking around. You had Michael J. Fox added this season as well, and that whole dynamic with what was happening with Harrison Ford. Man, just so many good people. You got marriages, you got people going off to college, you got people moving on and leaving kind of Segel in his own stuff now, and that's what kind of tips maybe for a season 4 what we're gonna expect here. But yeah, it definitely felt like a very relatable, grounded show that you just love everybody in it. And especially because Bill Lawrence, his magic as well, just bringing a lot of the talent from his past shows that we also like into this show as well. So I love to see that. And yeah, it's probably my favorite show on television, even though it's at number 2.
Yeah, I agree.
We're multiple seasons in now. So that's where this goes with that. Your number 1, sir.
Yeah, another Apple Plus show.
What?
Right. And I didn't think, because we talked to Bill Lawrence a couple months ago. We're like, oh my God, we got all 3 of his shows in our top 5, which is true. And heading into the last 2 months, I didn't think anything would knock Shrinking off the pedestal for me because that held my number 1.
Absolutely.
Until Widow's Bay came along.
That's it.
And
same
we
here.
just
That's my number 1.
We just reviewed the whole thing, so I don't think there's anything more to say. Widow's Bay by far is my favorite TV show of the year. It is my number 1.
Yeah, the only thing I would add is a couple of things. One, the cast is slept on, because Stephen Root kind of carried the early part of that season. Patricia is probably the most
She's my
consistently
favorite.
Funny and goofy and hilarious kind of character all the way through. And then Matthew Rhys is just the anchor. He's just playing every bit of this on his face. And I also love the promotional stuff for him, because I've heard him now, because once the algorithm knows you like something, it's everywhere. And I get fed a lot of Matthew Rhys interview content. I did not know the man was so Welsh and has such the accent and the whole thing and his stories and who he is kind of as a person. And now I'm enjoying him almost as much as I'm enjoying the show. And I think it's spread out. And then I've heard some amazing interviews with the showrunner as well as the director Hiro, who has directed most of the shows, if not all the episodes. Just an amazing team that you just root for. And if you want to get a good one, The Watch had a great interview with both of them, and it was hilarious. It was absolutely great to hear them and the origin story. And I think one thing you and I probably didn't say enough, and there's a video of it somewhere on the net too. I think maybe IMDb had it, where they cross-cut scenes from Widow's Bay with the Stephen King properties that they kind of match right up with.
Right.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I said that when we first reviewed the first few episodes, I think back in the day, I was like, oh yeah, this is very much a Jaws meets Stephen King, collective works kind of thing, whatever. And of course, obviously, as it's going along, there's a little bit more in terms of what it's like, and the humor will obviously offset that and whatever else. But yeah, there's a lot between even just like the clown scare in the early ones. You have the fog stuff being like kind of the mist / the fog stuff, whatever. And then there's shots that look exactly like The Shining. There's it's, and especially with the fact that Patricia was partying with supernatural entities, so that whole thing. So there's a lot of that going on. There's a bunch of examples, and I really enjoyed seeing a lot of that. Did you have anything else on this?
No, that was pretty much it. I just like how they blended all the different genres, and you can see all the influences. It's just Matthew Reese. I can never say his name right.
Yeah,
like you said, he was the standout because again, he wore everything on his face and just it was great. So yeah, you said it best, man. Like this show is just rolling, like just blew my mind. Like I didn't expect when I saw it, I was like, it could be pretty good. And and then it just like, yeah.
It's amazing the world building, the cast they have, and everything. It's just a joy. It's a perfect show, and like I said, just so many laughs. It probably is funnier than most comedies on TV when this is kind of a perfect blend of multiple genres. So I'm so happy for it. Honorable mentions. I'll kick this off because we're in the wake of me having multiple Bill Lawrence, and then you said like easily we could have had 3. Up until like a couple hours before we got on the mics, I totally forgot about your Young Sherlock, and in that spot I had Scrubs, the whatever you want to call it, reboot, updating, whatever you want to call it. I only say that because they put it as a separate section on when you go into Hulu or wherever you're watching it, that it's now Scrubs 2026. So call it whatever you like. It's the classic gang, and you're getting a lot of nice updates, at this point in their lives and everything else. So it's great. It's great. It's never going to be the exact same, but they do a nice job of updating it for modern TV, but keeping all those classic characters and having a lot of sight gags and the regular combos that they have. The same dynamic all the way through, and then bringing back Dr. Cox and the whole thing is great, and the janitor, whatever. Absolutely. I also had DTF St. Louis, and I even though I was disappointed with the end, for a while there, The Boys would have probably had an easy spot on here with its final season. But I think the way it ended, I kind of soured on that to not make the list. But those are my 3 honorable mentions that are kind of just right off the list. How about you?
All right, well, get ready for my 15 honorable mentions because it's hard for me to pare this down. No kidding, folks. Yes. I probably could give you like 10, but I pared it down to it's a 3. First is Rooster, because that was on my list until honestly 2 shows kicked it out. Was like Spider-Man Noir and then Widow's Bay. Like I just had no room for Rooster anymore, like for me. But a great show. Love, like you said, the universe, everything involved in it. Can't wait for season 2. The Pit, season 2.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, again, you haven't dove into this universe. I was a Johnny come lately, but man, I'm glad I got to the party because this show's intense, and season 2 was a step above season 1. Can't wait for freaking Noel and season 3. So that was my other honorable mention. Last one, I'll finally give some props to Netflix. This show, I think, flew under the radar, based on a true series, based on true events. It's a mini series, and it's called Legends, with Tom Burke and Steve Coogan. It's based on a true story about them getting custom agents with no real training to infiltrate the kind of the birth of the drug trade in London and England at the time.
Interesting.
And it's like 6, I think it's like 6 or 8 episodes, but man, just riveting stuff with Tom Burke and Steve Coogan like you've never seen him before, in a dead serious role, and he just ups the level, and just to see how they get involved into this world. And the title of the show comes from, like, I guess when they go undercover, they have to like come up with a legend, like a character, and they have to buy into that character. So that's why the show's called Legends. I just thought, again, it flew under the radar. Not a lot of people talked about it, but it is well worth the time and effort to check that out. So kudos Netflix for at least getting on my honorable mention.
Yeah, and this is after like I honestly, with your honorable mentions, I know you've liked a lot of shows. I know you did a solo mission on His and Hers, and
Yeah.
I know you watched a
Man
show
on
recently of
and
theirs
Man
that
on
you're looking to maybe
Fire.
do. Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Which again, that's another show that I watched like an episode or two and didn't return. So, and again, not out of like I was, anti, but just other better shows came along and you drop them. And I there's a bunch of shows that we liked that were returning, or maybe even those where I watched the full season, wasn't that impressed. Hijack season 2 was a letdown. Like it was fine, but
Yeah.
it was nothing compared to the first, and then there's a bunch of stuff like Daredevil or whatever, where it's just, I couldn't take it in. That was a disappointment for me. And so there was a bunch of shows where I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely not making my list.
Right. Or even Netflix, like I'm looking and it's like I had Beef season 2, which was good. Cast was great. It
What
was
season 2? What?
Beef
Oh,
season
yes,
2.
right. Yeah.
But it was distinctly different than season 1, which isn't a bad thing. But that was another
Right.
strong effort by Netflix. It just didn't make
Sure.
cut. Yeah. So, but like I'm looking at my list and it's like a lot of Apple TV and a lot of Prime, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah,
So.
I think you liked things like the guy from Relay. You liked Rez Ahmed's show, right?
Yeah, Bait.
Yeah.
The Sophia Turner show Steel
Yeah.
was great. So, and then of course The Boys. So I mean, like they had some good stuff on here, but Apple TV I'm looking at my list. You got again Hijack, you got Monarch, you got all the stuff we covered. Your Friends and Neighbors, Margot's Money Problems. They just dominated. Oh, I'm
show
sorry.
After show after show.
And we left off an actually good show on Netflix was The Burrows. But as much as I liked it, I just couldn't find it on my list.
Well, you're the reason why it didn't get renewed then. Because you heard that it's looking like it's not, right?
But honestly, the way it finished, the way it finished, I thought it wrapped up and it could just exist as a really, really, really strong season 1 or season. So
excellent, sir. Listen, you put in the work, so your word is better than mine in these lists. So great job as always. I'm surprised that Wonder Man wasn't there as well. I know you were pretty strong on that one too.
Yeah, here's the problem with Wonder Man. It came out in January, and then you have it's hard to keep it there. Now, Wonder Man came out like 2 months ago. Recent Bias shows up. It could have ended there, right? Ended up on there.
Well, that's why Young Sherlock, it took me a second to remember because I binged it and it was months ago or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's tough. All right. I'm just going to throw a bunch of shows at you that I know are coming out in the second half. If you have other ones that maybe are in the back of your brain there too, you could kind of chime in to be like, maybe that would be more anticipated than this. But I kind of wrote a most anticipated for the second half list here.
Okay.
A bunch of returning shows. We have Ted Lasso coming back, and now with the women's team and all that. We'll see how that dynamic goes. Reacher is supposed to come out with a new season before the year's coming to a close. The Bear comes out Thursday. So we have this weekend to kind of go through the new season of The Bear. Harry Potter has a season coming to HBO Max or HBO at in December, I believe. Lanterns comes out, the DC product on HBO in August. We have a new season of Slow Horses coming out in September. We have a new season of The Terminalist coming out in October, which is more Shane coded than anything. And then a new season of Only Murders in the Building I also threw in here. Did you have anything else that you maybe knew was coming that you've been looking forward to? Anything to add to this list?
No.
And if not, what would you choose out of that lineup?
Oh, man. That's a good question. I mean, I think I'm more curious about Ted Lasso season 4.
I think that's the right answer.
Based on the first 3 seasons and speculation of that being it, all of a sudden they get the band back together and they're going into a new direction. So I think curiosity has me saying Ted Lasso season 4, but GD, I can't wait for Reacher.
I know, especially from the books that I hear that they're using as a combo. I think this could be like even more crazy and violent than seasons past. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on those. And of course, like Slow Horses is always good,
It's always
but I
good.
think, you know, who knows what's going to be better or worse. Especially like the trailer, they kind of do less and less, it seems like, over the years, because they'll be like, we know you're coming back.
Yep.
So we're here every, not every year. It's like every 10 months or whatever they're back. So it's cool. So I agree. The Harry Potter one, I'm also like, I want to see what it's like, but I really don't think it's going to be for me, because mostly like it'll feel like a retread, I would imagine. But I'm curious, so I will end up watching it. But I think those answers are correct. This or match mine as well with Ted Lasso and Reacher, just out of pure speculation on what we maybe know, and then a lot of stuff that we don't know, especially just how Ted came back. If there's going to be another trailer, I don't even know if I want to watch it.
I don't want to watch it
because I kind of want to be surprised here. But yeah, there's so many good shows. And I'll tell you, because we always get surprised with Netflix and all these other ones, because this time last year, I did not know my number one show for Netflix was going to be my number one. And it just like came out of nowhere. So I feel like that's probably going to happen again this year. I'll be pleasantly surprised. And at this point, as I told you, there should be an Apple TV Plus show generator, like, where you put in some megastar, put in something. Like the fact that we haven't even said like Cape Fear, where that should have been probably like the biggest thing with the big stars and whatever, and based on a known property. No. I hear it's not very good. And that just kind of went, ho hum, it's here, goodbye. So it's amazing that something like that can happen. So excellent job by you. A lot to look forward to get to our end of the year list coming up as we get into December, January territory. Coming up next week, we will have Supergirl definitely on our minds to see where we are in James Gunn's universe now that, Warner Brothers, HBO is now a Paramount property. Are a lot of these things on the block? Is there something to worry about when it comes to this? Does it need to make a certain amount of money for people to care? We'll probably cover all of those things. I hope we also get to talk a little bit of sunsetting on Jackass, man, because like every time that trailer pops up in the movie theaters, I get so happy. I just hope it's good and just gives me that 13-year-old, lighting, my G.I. Joes on fire in my backyard kind of a vibe, just I always had my video camera, always doing stupid stuff. And I've always loved these type of movies. So that honestly, how we were saying like Widow's Bay is secretly probably like the best comedy,
right?
Jackass, if you take like the studio comedies, I might laugh more in those movies than I may like most studio comedies that have come out in this probably decade or plus.
Right. I can see that.
Yeah. Are you a fan? No.
I don't hate it. Like, I don't like.
I pegged you for that.
No, I don't hate it or anything, but I never got on board when it first came out. So I just kind of missed the train and it just never hopped back on there. Like, I every clip I watch on YouTube or online, I laugh my ass off. Like,
dude.
It's great. So maybe I need to go back up there and just inhale it.
I think you do.
So it wasn't from a place. It wasn't from a place of like, oh, I'm not going to waste my time. It's just I missed that train. And it's like, do I get on now? Do I whatever? So.
Well, especially with this one, because they're going to kind of mix and match between like old footage, new footage, kind of going through kind of the history a little bit of Jackass.
Right.
Like it might be a little
I might go see that
nostalgic for itself in this one because it's the last one. So,
I may go see
it might be encouraging to, if you're going to do that, like watch prior ones and then kind of go in. But these guys, I love these guys. Johnny Knoxville, he's the best. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. So we'll have a lot to cover. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to put out there for all the people listening, there will be a solo mission coming out this week.
Yes.
It's a Netflix show that I reviewed that just came out with Sam Worthington called I Will Find You. So
it's a Harlan Coben one.
Yeah, another Harlan Coben, which apparently he has like 14 shows on Netflix.
There's a lot.
Yeah. I didn't know about.
It feels like there's been like 4 this year.
Yeah, right. So I just got finished inhaling that show like in 2 days. So that should be coming out to you this week.
Excellent. So be sure to follow us on social media at Recent Act Pod. Those should be either on our Instagram account or somewhere in those, at least to start. And then they should be on our YouTube account, which if you don't already subscribe to that, be sure to find Recent Activity on YouTube. If you like to listen to podcasts and not watch the video, the audio of those are now on YouTube as well. So if that's how you consume podcasts, you could do that now as well. If not, if you're an audio head and listening to this now, thank you, obviously, and hopefully you're subscribing to this here on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcast. And be sure to come back next week for more Recent Activity.